are almost exclusively the ones building the bunkers because they can afford it.
So you're telling us right now that the bunker under Denver Airport exists?
It exists. America is just within days, if not weeks, of a rebellion. There is a panic buy on bunkers right now, especially in the United States. But it's not just the USA, it's gone global.
Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So it's a great honor today. Once again, Ron from Atlas Survival is in the house.
Hey,
he came back for some more of this beautiful Saskatchewan weather. You came back and it got cold because it was really warm here for the longest time, but today it's
cool, but I've been here for the last 5 days and it was like 80 degrees when I got here. I was like laying out my bikini, putting on my tanning lotion and shooting ducks at the same time.
So what you're saying is you didn't catch many ducks then?
I didn't catch many ducks, but I caught some rays. I don't know. I don't know if you can see the tan. No, I'm not too tan right now, but but it was warm enough where you could have got a tan.
Well, it's good to have you here, man. And we've done this before where we've had an interview where I've asked you all about bunkers because you are one of the foremost bunker building authorities, I would say, probably in the world, as far as I know anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk you up too much, but, I think you live up to the hype. So I figured today, we'll just talk a bit about how the bunker business has been doing in the last couple of years. We go in greater depth, I think, in our last video about how the bunkers get built, and I asked Ron a variety of different questions, and we go into great depth about everything related to bunker building. So go and check out that video. But I think today I'd just like to ask you, how are you doing? Maybe you could tell us a bit about yourself, the business, and yeah.
Well, the bunker business is booming. There is a panic buy on bunkers right now, especially in the United States. But it's not just the USA, it's gone global. And Atlas has showed up as the premier person to call. I can't imagine, to be honest with you, I mean, from the way we make our bunkers, I just can't imagine why anybody would honestly call anybody else at this point. The bunkers that we make today are so much better than the bunkers I made 2 years ago when I did my last interview with you at the hunting house in Wadena. So much has changed. The types of bunkers I'm making, what people like in a bunker is what you have here. They want a lot of storage for a lot of supplies. So I've taken what people want and the comforts that they want to have in a bunker, and I've combined them together, and I've come up with a bunker in the last 2 years, which we call our Platinum Series, and also another bunker called the Safe Cellar. But the one thing they all have in common is they have under the floor storage. So when you're in your bunker, you don't feel like you got all these shelves behind you because everything is tucked under the floor, as well as the water tanks and everything. So when you're in the bunker, you feel like you've walked into a freshly made hotel room at a Holiday Inn Express. If you don't have that, what you feel like is you walked into a warehouse or one of those storage units where everything is piled up, and then you can't walk around the bunker because there's food and supplies everywhere. A lot of things have changed in the world in the last couple of years. I mean, I can't believe how bad the world has gotten as far as it just looks like what I thought would take 30 years is going to take a few years. People are worried about the future right now. They're worried about a second round of a pandemic. And I did a video, this is a funny thing, I did a video called Why is Bill Gates Building So Many Bomb Shelters 2 years ago, 6 months before the COVID. And in that video, now Bill Gates has several properties, and on every one of his properties, he put in a $5 million bunker. And he has tunnels leading from the house and all kinds of secret passages and stuff. So anyway, in the interview, he basically says, I'm worried about a virus hitting the earth greater than Ebola, and I put the odds at it around 50% in my lifetime. Now, if you go to the Denver airport, they have a plaque there, and it says New World Airport. I know the guy who built the bunker. I've done videos with him. I've talked to him. It was christened in 1994. But that bunker was designed...
You're talking about the bunker under the...
bunker under the Denver airport, which supposedly doesn't exist, but it exists.
So you're telling us right now that the bunker under Denver airport exists?
It exists.
Okay.
Okay. Now, they won't admit to it, but it exists because I'm in the bunker business. I do stuff, and I know people that have worked on the bunker, yet I've never been into it, but I've heard about it. And I will spill a little bit of the beans, and I hope the feds don't come knocking on my door. But supposedly, allegedly, it has enough food, supplies to house 500,000 people for, I believe, 3 years is what it is. It's been a while since I talked about it.
Well, it would make sense because it's the geographic center of the USA, right? Like mostly, and it's at one of the highest elevations.
Well, they chose it for a reason. And when they were building the Denver airport, airports don't go over budget by $14 billion. Okay? Now, supposedly, 7 countries contributed to the building of the bunker. So when the world has to start over, that will be the center point. That's kind of like the Noah's Ark. You know, it's funny. I keep watching these movies on TV, and I watched one the other day, and it was about this meteor that was coming. It had Morgan Freeman as the president, and this meteor was going to come in and hit the Earth, and basically it was called Ellie, Earth Ending Event or something like that. You know,
extinction level event.
Extinction level event, yeah. There are people that are preparing for this Ellies, okay? And they have spent billions of dollars doing it. Now, the same thing with what you're doing here. People are preparing and buying your supplies for a disaster that they hope never comes. I sell bunkers every single day to people that they have the attitude it's better to have it, not need it, than to need it, not have it. And the way they feel right now in the United States, they feel the dollar's going to crash so bad that they would rather take some of their money out of the bank and put it in a bunker and never use it than to see their money evaporate and be lost in another crash because the dollar's going down. I mean, my exchange for the Canadian dollar a month ago is like $1.30. Now it's $1.20. Your dollar is on fire right now. I mean, it's
relative to yours, yes. So
yeah.
I have a question for you, Ron.
Yeah.
You obviously can't give us any names, but are the elites building bunkers right now?
The elites are almost exclusively the ones building the bunkers because they can afford it. The average guy can't afford the bunkers that I'm pretty much making right now. Unfortunately, the price of steel has quadrupled in the last 6 to 8 months. Freight has doubled. Matter of fact, I saw in the news today a shipping container that was $2,000 is now $20,000 coming from China. So everything is skyrocketing in price right now. But when I started Atlas Survival Shelters and I printed my catalog, I listed bunkers starting at $18,999. My goal was to make bunkers that the everyday man could afford, so everybody could have a bunker, not just the elites. Well, now with the price of steel quadrupling and almost 5-fold, the cost of freight doubling, the regular guys can't afford them. The bunkers that I was selling for, say, $40,000 are now selling for like $80,000. They've almost doubled in price because the cost of the steel, the cost of the freight for the air systems, getting people to work. It's a perfect storm for disaster in the United States. But I have never seen demand so high as what I'm seeing right now for bunkers in the United States. Matter of fact, it's not just the United States. I have projects in the Middle East. I have projects in Europe. We have the new Polish factory. I don't own it. It's one of those license deals. He's basically building my bunkers under a license deal. But the demand for bunkers has gone up worldwide, and it's really the elites that are buying them. So the average bunker I used to sell 5 years ago was $75,000. The average bunker I do today is like $250,000. And most people don't have $250,000 just sitting in their bank that they can stick in a hole in the ground. So you asked me earlier off camera, who are some of the famous people I work for? Well, I can't tell you any of the famous people I've worked for, but I can tell you this. I am under contract with one of the top 5 richest people in the world. Everybody knows who he is, but I can't say who he is, but I can just say a top 5. I am doing bunkers for one king in the Middle East, and there's only 7 kings in the Middle East. So your odds are 1 in 7 of guessing that one. And then as far as the top 5 richest people in the world, you can name them off on your hand. So one of those people is actually under contract with me. But I'm working for very famous, very wealthy people. But on the other hand, I'm working for average people too. Everybody wants to survive a disaster. You don't have to be rich to survive. It's just the rich people are going to survive a little more comfortable than you and I are. Okay.
And that's what's cool about you is, you kind of go in and out of these different circles, and I'm always impressed by how down to earth and authentic and real you are. And we might differ a little bit, when it comes to certain politics and stuff like that, but, I consider you a friend. And it's cool that you're just so down to earth in spite of the fact that you're going in and out of these different social circles. So, I mean,
well, it should be down to earth because I am down to earth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not special.
Literally, because you're under the earth.
Well,
right?
yeah, I am under the earth, but I